Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the 2025 Brent Hambrick Memorial. This is our MPO Feature Card out at Brent Hambrick Disc Golf Course in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Zach O'Haron, and on the commentator's mic with me, I have Sam Smigiel. How you doing?
Hey, good, Zach. Front nine showing a little bit of teeth. OB came into play. Tony off to decent start. He is 4 under on the front so far, so not too bad. Parker not too far behind him, so it's definitely need to get some scores on these back to get back on pace, especially for Brad and Martin here.
Yeah, the birdies are a little harder to get on the back nine, but they are there still and available. Taking a look at hole 10, 355. What do you got to do here?
You have to get first past this most perfectly placed tree right here. 355 feet, not a far shot, so a lot of players will be going mid or fairway, something straight, likely just inside, right at the basket, but that tree really, it's right where your disc wants to flip up, so it makes that fairway a lot tighter than it really looks. And I'm not sure if Brad pulled that or if he's going for the flex line, but get over there. And there are some lanes to the basket, but he's still going to be edge of circle too.
I think the most common mistake I see people make for this hole is they throw too flippy. It's really, in my opinion, it's more you want a stable disc on a little bit of angle if you're a right-hand backhand player, which is what I'm thinking about, and have it drift and let the stability just kind of flatten it out. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think they want it to fight out and kind of come back at the end. And
I like this.
And I love this. This is, last tree.
You have that slightly stable disc that's broken in just a little bit, and that's what you want to throw here.
I think that's such a good play for the hole. And this is leak. He hits the guardian tree.
And that was that just a little too flippy that you were talking about.
And now he has to get around the corner here. This is, there are lanes in here, but... that right there can happen to anyone at any time.
I mean, there's just not much to work with from where he was at.
And I think distance matters so much off this tee, as you see Parker being so far back. He has so many more trees he has to contend with on the approach. You see Brad here. I'm certain he'd love to be 30 feet closer just in terms of guaranteeing the par, let alone giving himself a better chance at birdie, but because you see Tony here, much farther up the fairway, legit birdie opportunity, just not even worried about trees in his way at this point. Martin, our last hope for a birdie opportunity. Off the front cage.
Probably a hole playing tougher than you would think for 355 feet.
Yeah, the fairway definitely makes it difficult to penetrate into the green. Hole 10 playing on the more difficult side, 4th hardest hole. That's a little surprising to me. That it's the 4th hardest hole.
4th hardest is a little surprising, but man, I mean, you saw it get our card played at 1 over par here.
And it averaged 3.22, so a quarter stroke over par, which is exactly what we just did. Holy smokes. Stats. Hole 11, 743, our first par 5. What's the game plan?
Yeah, so it's not a long par 5 here. You're going to want to throw something that's pretty straight, that gets anywhere up onto the right side, or if you can get it to flex back and land in the fairway around here, that's just fantastic. Probably going to have a forehand around the corner to get you hopefully right in this area, and then just chipping a little hyzer at the basket. But get off of the fairway and you're not going to be making a lot of progress on your next shot. So definitely get aggressive off the tee. Being under 800 feet, this is eagleable, but it is also bogeyable too.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If you're trying to get aggressive, it's maybe better to be a little right. There's some plinko trees on the right side, but then it opens up into a clear space. If you get past those, that's the perfect landing zone. Because
this from Tony is in no man's land.
Yeah, this is now you're choosing to pitch from that position because the angle's just so bad. This is prime position. Yeah.
It's a little short, but it's still in a really good spot. He's plenty happy with that. Parker going big off the tee. Looks like it's fighting back. Does it get through all the trees?
Yeah, we see it poke its head out at the very end there. We'll have to see if he gets through enough of it. Brad, this is...
Oh, a little surprised to see the backhand. Maybe the forehand was going to kind of fade into the trees on the right-hand side, and he didn't want to deal with that.
Martin now with a great position on his drive. Needs to get this either around the corner or just keep it on the edge, and it looks like the tree kick is going to keep him at least close to the edge. Oof, Tony in a bad spot.
Almost got through all that there.
Yeah.
And honestly, not in a bad spot from where he was at.
If your second shot is past that kind of turn, your birdie is very, very doable.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned the Eagles possible, 100%. You would need like a Martin's position, but probably, since we haven't got to Parker's, I'm assuming Parker's drive distance-wise to really open that opportunity. Because
right up in here would be like where you want to be if you're going for the Eagles.
I mean, we haven't even got to Parker yet. This is Tony's third. This could be really good.
It's got to sneak through the trees, and again, the thick grass just eats it up. Long putt for a birdie there.
He's a little farther right here from Parker, but the forehand does swing pretty nicely. A couple gaps you can go for.
You're just pushing through that back gap of trees.
Oh
my gosh.
So albatross is possible.
Okay.
Let's take another look at this one. Absolutely put this on the perfect angle. Choosing to go in the backside or like kind of aim for that tree. You can see there as it gets the skip on the catch side. There it is. Hits the dirt patch.
Oh, that would have been so much fun to watch that go in.
And just a foot off. Oh, what could have been. That would have been cool. Still was pretty cool. Now he has a tap-in eagle.
That was very cool. I loved watching that.
Martin just pitching around the corner is not going to get close enough for his birdie, but should be able to get up and down for a par. And Brad here with a trash can in front of him. He cannot move trash cans. Is that correct?
No, it's
part of the course.
You cannot move that. It's in front of him. Even if it's something that he could move, it's in front of him, and so you can't move anything that's in front of your lie. Well, it's deciding to go backhand. I mean, it's pretty easy forehand from there, but Martin's a very, very comfortable backhand player, so happy to get himself to 20 feet. Get in there.
Gave it a bid. Played through the skinny trees there. Doesn't quite convert.
Yeah, and for how short of a par 5 this is, you really feel it when you get a par. You almost expect a birdie, even though it's not that easy of a hole. Well, maybe it is for Parker, but it's again, you saw, each one of these other guys had been in a bad position at least once, and that just automatically prevents you from a birdie.
Yeah, holes averaging right around the middle of the pack in terms of difficulty. Probably thanks to Parker, it's on the easier side. But yeah, definitely one you want to get if you're feeling hot on the card for the day. Hole 12, 785. Not much farther, but another one that's tough to get in position. First drive, you want to land right where that kind of ridge is, that tree of clusters. If you can get past that onto the plateau, that's the perfect drive, and then we get a dogleg right here. OB on the left side. No OB on the right, though. Is that correct?
No OB on the right, but again, it does slope down. Basically, this grade that you see just kind of continues into the woods. So especially if you're throwing a forehand, it gets a little extra boost off of that. So skips are going to be going a little extra far.
Yeah. How hard is that to adjust? Like we've talked about a few times, the grass has been super thick, so you're planning on zero skip. You're trying to carry it to all of a sudden have a shot where you're exactly right. It's just dry, packed dirt. Like it's big flare skips opportunity all of a sudden. Is it easy to keep that in mind during the round, or is that easy to forget?
Yeah, you should be able to, because it's very obvious that there's no grass in that area, so you know that it's going to happen. I would say the harder thing is going to be to commit to throwing that last shot over the road is what you have to do, because you have to play it further left than you want to. Most players are going to be throwing a forehand up shot. Although I think the backhand is probably the better play
Okay.
because it's going to be fading into the hill, and then you don't have to worry about that extra skip as much.
Now, the last hole was eagleable. Thanks, Parker. Is this hole eagleable?
I don't see it. Not
Okay.
not for any realistic play you're going to have off of the tee.
Hero shot only.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Quick catch for Tony there. Slipped on a stick or a rock. Recenters and gets himself. This looks great. Great looking shot into the clearing. How far is it to the basket once you get past that corner? Or from the corner, let's say.
Yeah, once you're at the corner, it's maybe 260.
Okay.
And so anything past the corner is just going to get you a little bit closer. So I'd say Parker's probably at about that 260 range.
Okay. Sorry, I was doing a little test there because at GPO you were telling me it was 262, whatever.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, okay.
I was just seeing if you ranged it or not. Just giving you a little test. And Martin goes early, but gets through the Plinko trees, is at the corner, should be able to have a full swing.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about here, especially with Brad throwing a driver. That branch is going to slow him down, so we're not going to see that skip. But that was going to be the big challenge with that shot, landing it in the ideal position.
Do you get an advantage for backhand on this approach?
Yeah, it's fading into the hill, so it's going to slow it down a lot better.
A little short from Parker there. Martin a little closer now. He's going to have to leave this a little wider, though. Yeah, do a turnover because of the...
This shot, he's
Approaching
just
branches.
playing catch with the basket.
Look at
Martin's thrown that shot a million times.
I wonder how close he is to a million times, honestly. How many rounds would you have to play to throw a million times?
Gosh. Yeah.
Someone's got to leave. Well, I did the math and leave a comment.
I hope so. I'd like to know.
I would, too. That's a genuine, like, I'm for
And
it.
you've got field work, too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of shots. Oh.
It
Oh,
looks,
yeah.
looks good from our angle.
It was looking really good, and then, I knew it wasn't going in when he gave up on it, but still looked good.
Tony
Almost gets that to sneak in even after hitting the branches there.
Parker now.
Tough to miss 2 par 5s in a row. You'd really like
Yeah.
to get those.
Ooh, Parker sneaks in the birdie there. That's the second time his truth hasn't landed necessarily by the basket, but it's always resulted in a birdie.
It's close enough.
So
It always
yeah.
gets him close enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Something to
any
be said about
changes to be
that.
made. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily put you in the best spot, puts you in the birdie spot, which is the best spot.
There you go.
There it is. Hole 13, 385. This is a tricky hole.
Very.
Very difficult. Birdies are rare to happen on this hole, if ever during a round, even from a whole field. What makes this so tough?
The first off, there's the pole in your way, so you're going to have to throw to the left of that, and then you're on a turnover angle trying to hit this gap that's 360 feet from the tee pad, and you just basically have to hit that gap perfectly, and then, yeah, it's really hard to do.
Yeah. Hitting a gap 360 uphill.
Yes,
You have to,
uphill, definitely.
You
and
have to
this is
commit high.
underturned.
And not only that, but this is the common landing zone, short and left, and there's
It's tough from there.
48 trees between you and the basket in that spot.
I mean, this is going to be in a similar spot.
Is it better to overturn it or to land right here where Martin just went?
I was never on that side every time I overturned it, and never got all the way. If you get into the woods on the right, then that's terrible. But right where Brad is at, I think is probably, to be short, I guess is the best.
Okay.
Because then you still have a look at the gap. But I would say if I'm Tony, I'm just ripping it into the gap and hoping to get through the trees.
Yeah, it gets far enough forward into the gap where he should at least have a pitch. Martin up first, and it's like, there's so many trees in the way. Commits to the chuck,
I mean,
but
you're jump putting a low hyzer skip at the basket. It's just so challenging.
Parker's able to get through. That a little extra couple feet was
Yeah, I
advantageous.
think he threw that with a driver.
I think-
That wasn't a putter.
No, I think it's a mid, but it might be.
It might be, yeah.
It might be a fairway driver.
Either way, shows you
Yeah,
that it's not a simple
it's not
shot.
a putter. Yes, it's not just a blindless jump putt. Tony has a little gap, didn't really have a run at the basket. Martin now to try to save the par.
Just not quite enough on that.
And as we wrap up this hole, we're kind of hitting the toughest part of the back nine. We're kind of getting past that. These next few holes, in my opinion, is where you can really start picking up some birdies.
Yeah.
And so, par here feels fine. Bogey's a little unfortunate. These guys have really got to get their mindset, in my opinion, into attack mode, get as many birdies as they can on this final stretch. Starting off with hole 14. It has a Mando. You have to hit right of that far pole on the left side there, but it's really not in play, right? You're just trying to keep it low.
No, yeah, you're not playing it out there. You're just keep a low shot, throwing a skip shot, probably a little outside of where we're flying right now. Just trying to get through the backside of the green.
Sure.
But yeah, sidearm. The skip is going to be slowed down just a little bit, so you're going to have to put a little bit more on it than you would normally for a 280-foot shot. Parker does take that inside line and is rewarded with a 15-footer.
Brad gets this nice and low. Looks like a good angle. And he gets caught up by that crossbar branch.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna take the sidearm or Tony's lefty shot here, you want to push it as far as you can before you start skipping in, because those trees are pretty hard to get through. So if you're gonna hit a tree, getting further down the fairway is going to get you closer to the basket, because there's not really a clear line at the basket with that sidearm. So I think just getting a little bit further before you start to hyzer in is probably the play.
First forehand from Martin there?
Yeah, it was.
Think so? Yeah.
And I think he was running it too.
Here's Brad now. That crossbar tree is just perfectly placed. Brent has several perfectly placed
They do.
branches and trees, dang it. Birdie from Parker there gets himself the first birdie. Actually, this is the easiest hole on the back nine, so definitely one you want to get if you can. Just the last tap in, and we're going to move ourselves over to hole 15. 315, which doesn't sound too difficult in terms of distance, but the fairway's a little tight. What's the play?
Yeah, it's pretty tight, and the basket is pretty far to the left of the gap. So you're throwing something on a hyzer, kind of at this tree on the right, and then getting a nice low skip as far left as you can go. So something in like a really overstable mid-range, maybe kind of feathering a driver. Something that goes left.
Now,
Not
I've seen
that left.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of plays. Great kick. That's a great kick. A lot of different plays here. Do you like going high, low?
I like low. I think it's. I mean, I don't want to be like high through the gap, I should say. I'm trying to keep it under all of those branches. I'm not trying to fly it to the basket. I'm putting it on enough angle so it's going to skip. That, I think, was a misrelease by Tony. I don't think he's aiming up there.
There we go.
Yep.
Just got to swing and skip.
It's going to have to skip a ways. Yeah, and that looked like a driver the way that skipped, which is tough to throw on a 300-foot hole.
Yeah, when I saw a couple people talk to him, they were talking about maybe like Captain's Raptor or something like that, something really beefy to kind of cut the corner essentially, but this is looking good from Parker. Gives himself a par look. Almost said birdie, and it's definitely a par. And Brad is still on the inside here, and it is no bueno back here.
Yeah, if you're off the fairway on this, especially short of that gap, this hole can get pretty tough to get the par. It's when you're going for birdie, but bogey does come into play.
Little pitch around the corner. Ooh. Maybe a basket run unintentional for Tony. Gets himself in the bullseye.
And we got a chance at birdie here. There it is. Finally dialing the stepper in.
Gets the birdie to go. Brad now from a similar distance, a little more obstructed. Comes up just a touch short. He's going to have a bogey from that spot. Par for Parker there.
Yeah, good par from where he was at.
Yeah, hole 15, averaging 3.14, so a little over par, not too surprising to me. You just find yourself getting in a lot of trouble very quickly on this hole. Like, most of our guys hit the intended gap in general, but if you were to shank early or just rip it right, it gets worse, I promise. Hole 16 now, 318. We get to a forehand/lefty hole. Tight fairway. You just want to put something straight here, let it hyzer off to the right at the very end there. The big mistake, in my opinion, is missing early right.
Yeah. And again, grass is pretty long, so you're really not going to get a lot of skip. You've got to fly it there.
Does that make the hole harder, knowing that you have to get the roller
wow.
here? Oh, he misses it left, but I was not anticipating a roller there.
I was not either. I mean, with Martin, how he plays, he's not going to throw a forehand on this hole. I would almost expect him to throw, just a mid-range to about 30 feet. Just throw it straight. Maybe he's had some good shots in practice with the roller, but man, that's an aggressive shot on a pretty tight hole.
But so since the grass is a little longer, now you have to kind of throw it a little harder, maybe a little higher. Does that make the hole harder, or is it just different? Or
yeah, I think it's a little different. Yeah, it's not any harder or easier, I would say.
Just changes the shot a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Brad gets deep in the basket there, and we're going to see Martin with his second forehand of the round.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a good one. Look at that.
Deep in the basket as well.
Hanging out with his buddy Brad.
I think Brad was teasing him, saying he has to change his entire game now to stand still forehands.
And I'm sure he shut that down very fast. Oh, obstruction here from Brad. Oh, he just gets it to go in. Great putt.
Good recovery from the last hole. Martin trying to match. And he does.
Yeah, that stepper's dialed in.
Parker with the tap in. Tony going to match. Birdie for Parker here, as expected for the forehand specialist. That's going to move us on to hole 17. Now, if you watched our coverage of this event from years ago, there was a long pad position. That is not what they're playing. The traditional Brent Hambrick layout for this year. So we're back on the cement, shorter tee pad here. It's 350. It's around this corner to the left side. It's just a straight shot with a stable disc, let it fade left, or are you trying to manipulate the angle here and try to push into the green?
Yeah, I kind of like something that's not really overstable, so I don't have to throw it that hard. I like to kind of flip something up and shape the fairway a little bit. Again, you're not going to get a lot of skips, so I'm trying to fly it to the green. And kind of like that, maybe a little inside, but I think he's going to have a putt. Yeah, he is.
Deep at the basket, tough to do. Brad now trying to match that. Like this. Oh. Hits an earlier tree. Doesn't get around the corner. This needs to get around.
Inside. It's got to get past one, and yeah, it doesn't quite get there. I really like the forehand for this, for Tony. You can see the gap. Just gets over on it a little too much, and I don't think he's going to be too far left. So
yeah, hole 15, it felt like he threw that forehand too high, and it almost looked like he overcorrected trying to keep it low.
Having to get creative, and
I mean, that works.
He does.
Yeah. He is successfully creative.
All right, let's see another one go in, Martin. Gives it a bid.
It's going to be in circle for his par opportunity. Brad also from range. And that does not hyzer the way he was hoping. Parker's our last chance for a birdie. Sit down. Sit down. Brutal roll away. Brad to clean up. Gets his par to go.
Yeah, everyone on our card probably a little disappointed to miss the birdie on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Not the easiest hole, but one you really want to get coming down the stretch.
Does average over par, 3.05, just a little over par. That's surprising to me. I would expect it would actually play just a smidge under par with like the field that I saw signed up for the event. But I mean, if you're off your fairway, again, it's very similar to 15. If you're just a little off the fairway, especially early, you can find yourself compounding strokes really quickly. And that's going to move us on to hole 18. Uphill the whole way, 582. I mean, this is just throw real hard and circle, or is it more complex than that?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Keep it in bounds. Don't try to get too cute with it off the drive. You don't really need a ton of distance.
There's a green line on the right side of the fairway originally, and again, years ago, they had an OB line that was impeding into the grass rather than just on grass's edge. They've covered it with a green line, so that is not OB. The OB line is along the road for the hole. So there's a little extra space on that right side, but how much does the wind impact this tee shot and up shot?
Oh, it does. Definitely the drive off of this one, because you're kind of exposing the nose. You're throwing a faster disc, and so I saw a couple people turn it over too much. OB go stall out, go to the OB left. So this is one where I really think you just want to throw an overstable disc, keep it flat, keep it low, and just make sure you stay in the middle.
Love this play from Tony, especially now that green line's been moved to the edge. Just hit the center, let it hyzer into that kind of pocket drainage ditch, and because it won't very rarely ever get out of bounds from there.
And then this basket is on like just a little extra bonus elevated green. Like the whole hill's uphill, and then it goes up another couple feet.
A little knoll.
And so it's just a little deceiving on the distance. You got to give this one a little extra juice to get there, as we see a couple upshots so far, leaving just a little bit short.
Tony going backhand, swinging this one in. Look good. Yeah, this is, hits the pin. Yeah. And now Parker trying to match that. This looks good. Go in.
Yeah, looked like I had a chance to go in there.
So they're parked. Going to have tap-in birdies for them. Brad from Circle's Edge does not get this one online. Martin, and also a chance from, it looks like, inside circle here.
Yeah, and there is just a little bit of wind here, so that's making these putts just a little bit tougher. But definitely want to end with the birdie. Parker able to get his. Brad and Martin going to be tapping in for par. Tony with the tap-in birdie.
Pretty decent scoring separation this hole, actually. 33% birdies, 47 par, and 20% bogey or worse. A little more separating than I would have expected for this hole, but
yeah, I think the wind came into play there a lot.
On round one for sure. So taking a look at the scores here, Brad, Martin not able to convert on the holes they were trying to get on. Tony was clean, but didn't get the birdies he was also going for. But Parker, that eagle helps a ton, gets himself to that 8 under. And really the story here is someone went hot. That guy was Jared Stoll, 13 down in round one, 1070, I think 2 rated. That is the pace set. We all know the expectation now.
I tell you, I got to see that round firsthand, and boy, that was fun to watch. Hitting a lot of fairways, made every single putt, and yeah, fantastic round by Jared.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you're part of our Patreon, thank you so much. Be considering joining us there for $1 a month. You can support us in getting more events in each and every year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sam, I will see you and everyone on round 2 in just a minute.